Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2 at the Emirates. Yeah. What are you going to say about that other than we took our foot off the gas, guys. That's why it's in the title. Just kind of going to go through it. Dal will be joining me here shortly, but I'm disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I expected the result prior to the match. If you guys watched me and Husam's live stream yesterday, you knew that, even if Timber was going to be there, if Saka were going to be there, I thought this would end in a draw. But yeah, just the way that game go, the way that game went, and the players that we had on the pitch and the way that the players were stepping up, or certain players were stepping up, I thought we were going to do a lot better. I thought we were, especially in the first half, we dominated them. We absolutely dominated them. I just don't understand why. Like, were they taking sedatives at halftime? Like, what were we thinking? What were we doing there? What was the halftime speech like? Hey guys, calm down. Let's let them have the ball and come at us and try to defend a lead. Like, I just don't understand that, especially when we were on the front foot for most of the first half. Like, I really didn't understand that. And some of the subs I didn't understand either. But big up everybody that's inside. Make sure you're smashing a like. And if you're watching this on playback, smash a like and comment. Yeah, it's just disappointing, given how we ended that first half. My brother is here. Big up Dal every single time.
Yeah, bro.
We're disappointed, man. Disappointed.
Yeah. Great first half. First half. Timber, Gabriel go down.
It's over.
Right. Kiwior is absolute garbage. We've said it from day one. Where they picked this guy out from, I don't know. And I actually wanted Kiwior and Gabriel to start. I wanted Kiwior and Gabriel, the tallness, the strength, to kind of do something, right? But I didn't expect Kiwior to come in for Gabriel.
Yeah.
And I do think that they don't score if we had ourselves organized. I think we pushed when Martinelli got the ball, we all pushed too far up, too fast. That left a big hole. Bing, bang, bosh, 2-2. And that's simply what happened.
Yeah.
We pushed up chasing Martinelli for a dead ball that he was barely going to get. So,
yeah.
Some blame Martinelli. I do a little bit, but I blame mostly the midfield just going up there, storming, chasing after him and can't get back. I mean, if you're the number 6, what are you doing? Why are you up past the halfway line when Martinelli doesn't have full control of the ball?
Yeah.
It's little mistakes, man, and they killed us. But other than that, I thought the first half was great. I thought we had them under the cosh for a long time. And then the 60th minute came around and all hell broke loose.
Yep, absolutely.
Concentration levels dropped. Gabriel injured. It couldn't be really, at the end of the day, TJ, could have really been the worst result. A loss would have been worse, but I mean, we just lost Timber probably again and Gabriel.
Gabriel's injury didn't look that serious, from what I saw. But I mean, right. Timber's just coming off an injury. Anytime that guy hits the floor, you're worried, right? And big up Kyle Walsh. Kyle Walsh, if you want the link, let me know. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, as soon as the injuries happened and you see Miles Lewis-Skelly come on for Timber, right. I think that was my biggest issue with what Arteta did today. I talked about this at length with Husam yesterday about how Miles Lewis-Skelly is not made for a game like this. Like, he did this, he did the same thing against Man City. He put on Lewis-Skelly at left back, and I'm not blaming Lewis-Skelly, but the counterattack situation that you put him in on Mohamed Salah's goal, he's not ready for that. Like, he doesn't have the pace for that. He doesn't have the brain for that. And if you watch, he's standing there. He gets caught.
Yeah.
So he gets caught watching. Like, he doesn't even make a move, a defensive move to try to stop Salah. Like, he doesn't know what's happening. And this is exactly why I said, like, we need to be just kind of seeping these youngsters in gradually instead of putting them in huge moments. And he did the same thing against Man City, and we conceded against Man City too.
Right.
So I don't necessarily blame the manager given the injuries that he had, but I thought that substitution was awful. Like, look, and I realized, like, we only have Zinchenko on the bench, but at least Zinchenko has been there before.
Right.
Lewis
Right.
Skelly is not in any sort of position to be doing that. But
I was fuming the moment I saw Thomas Partey at right back. So
yeah,
I mean,
well,
I just
I thought Party did fine, to be
yeah,
honest with
no,
you.
I thought he was actually
A
one
lot
of the better
worse.
players in the first half.
Yeah,
To be honest, because I mean, he did, bind up Luis Diaz. He didn't really have much of a sniff in the first half. You must admit, Luis Diaz didn't do much, and Partey was a big part of that. It just, it becomes like he's. I think Arteta just is so scared of the bench, right? We've said this a couple times now, right? We said this last season. We said the season before. He seems very nervous to play some of these bench players, but these are players that you bought, right? These are players
yeah.
that you bought, and again, why are
Or you didn't,
mutants?
or you didn't bother to replace. Anyway,
Or you
sorry. Go
didn't
ahead.
bother to replace? I mean, again, these are mutants are telling us it's an 8 out of 10 window. I mean, give me a break. It's
Yeah,
the same ethos. The way they're being coached is the same way Wenger was kind of running things when he was done. It's just kind of throwing players out there, hoping, again, the hope strategy, that they'll do something. Like you said with Lewis Skelly, why are you putting this kid in this position such late in the games when Zinchenko's right there? We know Zinchenko's shit, but like you said, he's got the experience. He may not have gotten caught out, but I'm more worried about the lack of communication between the midfield that they think they can just push up every time we get the ball in the 18-yard box. And it's left a hole more than once in this match, right in the middle of the pitch, because Rice was too far up, Moreno was too far up, right? And Trossard was too far up.
No, and right. And there was no, if you look at the back line on that second goal, too, it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. There was no shape whatsoever. They got caught, and I knew as soon as Mohamed Salah was in with that ball, we were cooked. Like it was inevitable. It was inevitable at that point.
That's what he's been waiting for all game. He's waiting for that ball all game long.
Yep. No, and we just got we got fucking cooked, man.
Cooked at the end. I mean, the first 10 minutes of the second half, I didn't think were even that bad. But once Gabriel went down the second time, I was like, oh shit, this is not good. And he's, as much as we put the captain armband on Saka, as much as we don't put it on Rice and put it on Odegaard and Partey and other players, Gabriel is the leader of this team. I truly believe that. I think that we know that he's been better than Saliba at times, and he's scoring headers, but he hasn't the last 2 weeks. So there goes that strategy out the window. That didn't do anything against Bournemouth or Liverpool. We can't use that. I don't think we can use set pieces as a strategy.
No, you can't.
It's right. I mean, he was flying in there like Superman against Bournemouth and didn't even come close to the ball. And Craig's right, 4 away games incoming, and now we're 2 of our center best players, 2 of our best 5 players are injured, and another one's injured as well. I consider Timber a top player, and I think he's probably not going to play.
Yeah, so we have Newcastle next away, Preston North End away. Who else? Who's after that? Chelsea away, and then Inter.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Preston obviously we're not too worried about.
With this team in this form, we're not beating Inter Milan. We're not.
Isak will eat us up alive.
I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about Newcastle, to be honest.
No, I am. If we don't have Gabriel and Saliba's not,
Saliba will be back,
ready to go. Yeah, maybe. Isak looked pretty damn good today. I mean, he didn't finish his dinner, that one goal, but Chelsea are on a roll. Good fucking evening to you too, Jaminho.
Yeah. Big up everybody inside. Make sure you're smashing the likes up. I am just, look, okay, let's start from the beginning and kind of go through it. Sure. So first goal, absolutely incredible. I leaped off of my seat. What a banger. Incredible pass from Ben White. Unfucking believable. Right on Saka's boot. He's going to finish it. He makes a turn, sends Andy Robertson to the shadow realm. Hold that, you Scottish fraud.
Yeah, I think he's in my backyard. He's sliding still.
Yeah, dude. What a fucking goal from Bukayo Saka. And I just got done talking about how this guy can't take big moments. And he proved me wrong there. Unfortunately, what was it, 10, 15 minutes after that, we completely turn off on a set piece defense. But Kai Havertz, I don't know what you were doing on that. You need to be I don't care if Luis Diaz is 5 foot nothing. You need to be marking him because he gets his ball on that. He gets his head on that. It gets into the soup, and then it's chaos.
Yep.
It's absolute chaos.
You're the first one I've heard blame Havertz for that. I've heard Ben White been blamed for it, but I blame Gabriel. Number one, Virgil van Dijk is your fucking man, Gabriel. You grab his shirt and you fucking hold on to it. Why is Van Dijk the tallest player on the team versus our tallest player on the team is not even fucking near him? I think Van Dijk's behind him when he puts the header in. Right? That's the thing I'm talking about. Gabriel is the fucking leader. He has to be the leader of the squad. Saka is useless as a captain. Useless as a captain. I'm sorry. Odegaard.
I don't know
I'm not even counting Odegaard right now.
Why do you say he's useless? I don't think he's useless. I
don't think he's useless is probably a bad word. But, but it's like, but it's a corner kick, right? It's in your box. You're the center back. Take fucking control. You see Virgil van Dijk out there. You say, that's my man, right? That's my point, TJ. You look at Virgil van Dijk as Gabriel. That's my man. Trossi, you take him, blah, blah, blah. You communicate. You spread it out. Bam, Raya catches the ball.
Right.
That's my point, is there's no one guarding anyone. It was wait and see. Wait for the ball in the air, then we'll react to it instead of watching for Van Dijk, taking control in the box, and stopping him from doing that. And that to me was criminal. And I don't care, and I guess my captain point is, I don't care who's captain. Gabriel is still, to me, the leader of the back line.
Oh, of course he is.
He's the leader in the box. Him and Raya lead in the box. The communication has to be there. You cannot let Virgil van Dijk just take a short sprint in there and knock it right in there and behind you. Yeah. Behind you. Like, that's where I get the most, and it's not Arteta's fault. That is flatly the fault of the defense not being organized. Right, and should have been captain anyway, Jaminho.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Look,
yeah, Tony.
It's very, very obvious that the pickpockets didn't teach these guys anything.
Right.
They completely turned off. They completely turned off, and I'll go back and watch it again. But if you watch the ball come in, you see Kai Havertz. If Kai Havertz marks Diaz just a little bit closer, that deflection doesn't happen. Diaz got his head on it.
Right.
And Havertz, if he had just been 1 foot a little bit more up on Diaz,
right.
He gets a header over him. Diaz, Kai Havertz is this tall, Diaz is down here.
Right.
And then the only reason that ball gets over it is because Kai thought the ball was going to come to him and he completely missed it. Like, these are the little errors, the little things that if you turn off for 1 second, somebody is going to make you pay, especially if you're playing against a team like Liverpool. Like, that's the biggest thing with me, is that we completely turned off. Like, I have a huge problem. Like, look, the amount of open play goals that we've been getting this is completely unacceptable.
Right.
Completely unacceptable. That's why they're going to keep calling us Set Piece FC, Tony Pulis FC. We're going to keep doing that until we can actually get open play goals and get a legitimate creative midfielder back into this squad.
Right. And a striker. Kai Havertz was crap today.
Like, we need to be honest. We need to be honest about it. Like, he's been playing well overall, but today he wasn't good. Like,
he's a purple patch player, bro. He'll go in patches. I say no jazz. He'll go in patches of 3 or 4 games, maybe 4 games, right? Maybe nick 2 goals, play well in 3 games, and then do nothing for 2 or 3. We saw this last season as well. Yeah. His back is to goal. Why is his back to goal? There's times he was playing right mid. What are you like? Why are you behind Saka? That's the control I'm talking about. If you're right mid, if the Liverpool had the possession, their defensive half, you were defending Kai Havertz at right fucking mid. Why? Oh, Trossard was up there. Then switch with them. It's called communication. Just switch.
Yeah.
Be in your position. Pep Guardiola said it over and over. You keep players in their position because that's where the ball's going to end up. Why was our striker behind Saka? Why are they switch? Like, why? It makes no sense, TJ. It just, and like somebody said in the chat, what is Arteta telling these guys at halftime? What are the words that are coming out of his mouth at halftime?
Oh, I was going to get into that because before you came on, I thought they must have been handing out sedatives with the fucking Gatorade,
or
something, because they came out. I wonder what Arteta said in the dressing room during halftime. Hey guys, we're gonna let them have the ball, and we're gonna have them come to us while we are defending 2-1 fucking lead. Like what? Like what are we doing here?
And then what happens to our defenders because they're under so much pressure?
Exactly right. No, I just don't get it. Look, and I have not criticized the manager very much because he's been thrown difficult he's been drawing difficult cards, let's be honest. But today, the way that he set us up in the second half is absolutely abysmal. The subs were bad. Okay, and here's another thing, and look, I don't want to glaze over this, so I'm going to mention it real quick. Mikel Merino, awful the first half, fucking awful. He was like that when he turned off on that Saka pass back to him, and Salah almost scored. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what? I thought this fucking guy was going to be like I was told that this guy is going to be a ball-winning midfielder. He's going to be responsible on the ball. That was unbelievable. Like, he completely turned off on that. After that, he started playing well, and it was a well-taken goal. Great delivery from Declan Rice. That's all I'm going to say about it, because after that, we completely turned off. And Jamino, you're 100% correct. Marino's goal did paint over the cracks because we had chances that we were not executing on. They were letting us have the ball, and then it goes into halftime, and we completely turn off. Completely. And I don't understand that. And I don't understand. And look, difficult cards. I'm talking in the context of injuries. 800 million, like we can talk about 800 million as much as we like.
Injuries are massive.
That really killed us. And look, we got lucky with injuries last season. We mentioned this during our season previews. Now we got so lucky, and now we're missing. I really do think we're missing Odegaard, because Odegaard would be telling these players where to go and would be telling them to fuck off if they were out of position, and we conceded because of it.
Right.
That goal, Odegaard. If Odegaard's on the pitch, that second goal doesn't happen, in my opinion.
I think if he's on the pitch, we possibly get a third. I think you got a good point. I think there is times, as much as we've slammed Odie and trashed him, trolled him, etc., you can see in games like this, he's kind of missing, because you just need that one creative player to kind of cut open their midfield a bit. And they were there for the slicing today, bro. That first half, I mean, they're lucky it was a 2-3.
I want to be clear. Sorry, Liverpool were not good today. They weren't good.
They weren't good. They were I gotta say, they were very good in the last half hour.
But
and TJ Crane, maybe Odegaard would have gone into hiding. TJ Crane saying he would have gone to hiding. Maybe, but maybe he's that one player that can actually get a shot at 20 yards, and someone can, get a deflection, goes to guard. I get it, ER. I get it.
But where was Trossard? What did Trossard do? What did Trossard do today? Nothing. So I don't want to hear look, we can criticize Odegaard, goes to guard, whatever. That's fine. I understand that, and he deserves some of that criticism. But be honest with yourself. If you have to choose between Trossard in that position or Odegaard, you're taking Odegaard every fucking time.
Against Curtis Jones, right? Because Curtis Jones was their midfielder as well. And Gravenberch is a good up-and-coming player, but he's no Yaya Toure or KDB or Rodri. I mean, let's be real. It's fucking Ryan Gravenberch. You get the ball past him, it's good. ER is saying Trossard all day, because there is a sense of technical ability that Trossard – can
not in that position.
Right.
On the left side, absolutely.
He's not a 10.
Absolutely. He's not a 10. He's not.
Just
He's not
past him. Yeah, he's just not a 10. And not that Odegaard's a great 10 either. So it's kind of like you got to defend yourself and then take the lashes for Odegaard. We get it, right? I know everyone in the chat gets it, right? No one's gassing up Odegaard. But I think there would have been, if he, let's say, coming back from injury, just would have produced something, I think, in the 65th, 75th minute today. Even if he was coming back from injury, I think there would have been a pass he could have played through. There's little things that he can do. He's not a complete waster. He's just not, he's just not what we want, right? But,
right.
I don't know. It's hard to describe Odegaard. He's out till December, so it's useless predicting if he would have done anything or not. But the fact of the matter is, we left a hole for their second goal. We pushed everyone up, thinking Martinelli was going to dazzle us, and lo and behold, he loses the ball to Konate, right? Konate was their man of the match. In 29 is garbage, ER. His back is to goal. And he's playing behind Saka. And Trossard striker, switch. One word, switch. Go back into position. And it's just the back to the goal, fighting the center backs, getting little dumb kicks in on him and shit. It's so dumb. He's just up there as just the whole, like he couldn't even control a ball one time. It came down to him and went out of bounds. He's always has his back to goal. And I've said it like 10 times here. I say it on just about every stream that we talk about him. His back to goal. There's no Giroud, bro. Giroud could have his back to goal, control the ball within 4 or 5 yards, and then play a reverse pass. Havertz does not do that. When has Havertz played a reverse pass to Saka? Ever. Never.
Yeah.
Never. The title will be over by Chelsea if we continue on this. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you're playing against a different Chelsea team, I'm telling you. They are not gonna our record at Stamford Bridge is in serious jeopardy. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially with the offensive posturing of this team right now. We can't score goals. And typically when we go up against Chelsea, when we're not on a roll, we don't score goals. Like it was a 2-2 last time we went to the bridge, and now they have an actual coach. That was Pochettino that we went up against last time. Now you're going up against Maresca, who has these guys fucking humming. Like we have to take a good look at ourselves and get on some good form in these matches coming up. Newcastle, that is a win we have to get. We must win against Newcastle. And then we have to continue it against Preston North End, because I don't want to throw away any of these cups at all. Take that game seriously. Fucking start Nwaneri. Start him. Start him. And I'm going to go into the substitution. Were they? I want to ask you a question, Dal. Are they managing Saka's minutes? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Now they are.
They have to be, because otherwise that substitution doesn't make sense. You're going to take off the one player that is creative enough to get to maybe over the line. Maybe.
Right.
You take him and Martinelli off and put on Nwaneri and Jesus.
No pressure.
Yeah. And you're putting Nwaneri in a position like I don't understand it. You're putting him in a position to fail. You're putting Miles Lewis-Skelly in a position to fail. Consistently. Consistently. And the one major criticism I've had about this manager this season has been the fact that he is not playing these young players in positions where they can win, in positive positions. You're not going to throw Ethan Nwaneri out there and expect him to bag a goal against Liverpool. The top of the
right.
Like it's absolutely insane to me that if you do that, you're essentially saying, yeah, I'm good with the draw. That's what you're saying.
Yep. And go out there and just give us all you got, kid.
Yeah.
Don't make it happen, kid. Right? Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. I was against the lineup today. Number 1, 4-2-3-1. You don't need to do that against Liverpool. Go 4-3-3. And I'm not a big fan of the 4-3-3, but my pick in the midfield would have been Rice on the left, Partey in the 6, and Nwaneri on the right. Put Trossard as his impact sub on the left, where he can be successful. Give Nwaneri some time to see what this kid can do. They could have brought him on at halftime. They could have ditched Trossard or sub Martinelli out, put Trossard on the left, and put Nwaneri on the right in a 4-3-3. those, but not in the 80th minute. They could have done it at halftime.
Yeah.
Right? They could have done it at halftime. And that may have changed things, but maybe not, because I don't think Szoboszlai is that good. I don't think Curtis Jones is that good. And fucking Gravenberch and McAllister is that good.
They were both not good today. They were both not good.
So I don't know what Arteta's watching. Like, I don't know what he sees in his head. And the Lewis Skelly thing, when you start running out of subs, and that's the thing. Did we bring Timber on too much? I don't know. Timber looked fine to me in the first half. And Thomas Partey at right back, I know as much as I don't like it kind of makes sense because Luis Diaz, but I would have had no problem just playing a straight 3-4-3 with Timber, Gabriel, and White. And just put Partey in the midfield, right? I mean, why take the step to put him at right back just to invert him anyway? This is what we talked about last season. Adding a step to the process that doesn't fucking need to be there. Just make a 3-4-3, spread out the three center backs or defenders, and go from there and have Thomas Partey drop back as kind of the sweeper or whatever, or put him in front of the back three. But this notion that you can just invert, it leaves just open. And granted, I thought he did a good job today on Lewis Diaz.
I thought he did well.
Was going to be up to it. I thought he did well.
Yeah.
In a position that he doesn't normally play. Again, he played there 9 times for Atletico Madrid. 9 times.
9 times?
9 times. Over the 4 years he was there, though. It's not like he was there, for 2 years. Like 9 times out of 4 years, that's nothing.
Name the movie.
But it's like, is Arteta copying Simeone? Like, what are you doing, bro? I just thought the lineup for the get-go was off. I thought Nwari deserved a starter, definitely needed to come on in the second half. Because Trossard is not a starter. He's not a starter.
If we were gonna play Nwaneri, it should have been at halftime. I don't think this is a game that he starts. I'm gonna say the same thing. The same thing.
Yeah, I go for that as well.
Yeah, but as soon as you see that Trossard is having a fucking bad game, you need to start making decisions. And you know what? Don't throw a kid into an impossible situation.
Right.
That's my biggest criticism here is if we're trying to develop these youth ranks to be actual starters, you need to be putting them in positions to win. You need to be putting them in positions to succeed.
Right.
And that's my whole thing. That's my, like, I'm going to die on this hill. The management of the youth team and the betting of youth players into the squad has been absolutely abysmal. And the only time you're going to see Nwaneri outside of a cup competition is in an impossible situation in the 85th minute when we need a goal. And he just doesn't have the tools yet. Like this kid is a baller. Don't get me wrong. Like I think this kid is an absolute baller. But you got to remember, he's 17 years old. He's 17 years old,
right?
And you're putting him up against the best players in the world. You expect him to go against seasoned players like Szoboszlai and Gravenberch and make a fucking difference.
Yeah,
and
Andy Robson,
yeah, and you're obviously letting Liverpool have the ball. Like what were our possession stats in the second half? Like I don't even want to look. Actually, you know what? I will. We let them have the ball 63% of the time at home. We are at home. 63% possession at home. We are letting them go. And we had a fucking lead. Like I don't get it. We had a lead at halftime, and we just let them have the ball and let them come at us when we are missing our best midfielder, arguably, and our best center back, arguably. And we have fullbacks that can't stay healthy. We have center backs that can't stay healthy. Like I just don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I don't either. I don't.
The more I talk about it, the more angry I got. I was okay. 20 minutes.
I think Arteta's let this defensive shit right. I think Arteta let this defensive shit get in his head because of the City game. Like we've done this now after City, right? City phenomenal defending, tough draw. They got the John Stones, kiss my ass, 2 goals in 97 minutes, whatever. It is what it is. But the fact of the matter is that since that game, I think Arteta's got it in his mind that, oh, we're kind of a defensive team. No, we're not. When has Arsenal ever been a defensive team? Tony Adams, we weren't defensive. We were very good, but we weren't defensive, right? Mustafi, I mean, come on, let's not even talk about that era. Right? Phil Campbell, we're defensive, but we still had the Arsenal. We still had the attack. But we were known for fast-paced attack. We weren't known for setting up shop 2-1 at home and letting the other team have 60% possession in the second half. We are not known for that as a club historically. So when I see this defensive bullshit and hear about it from the mutants that, oh, this is the way forward, we should just get a 2-1 lead and we should just defend because we got Gabriel Saliba, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. These teams offensively are creative, they're fast, and they're deadly. And I would say the same thing with Bournemouth.
Yep.
You know,
why do we defend against Bournemouth?
Because that's a team we've beat 4-0, 3-0, 5-0, and we go to their place and put a stinker of the season. And we were shit at Shakhtar Donetsk as well.
Yeah. Hey, Doss, we'll probably go for another half an hour. Tell Terry I said hi.
Yeah, tell Terry what's up. You know, yeah, and who saw him as well. No, it's like the thing is that I want to blame Arteta so bad, and I do. He has to take some of the blame for this, etc. But at the same time, I think you're right. I think you made a very good point. When your best defender literally goes down in the middle of the second half, what do you do? If you're playing FIFA and you don't have the squad or whatever variables you want to put in there, you got to make decisions. And I know this ain't FIFA, far from it, but the decision making is similar. You can only put all the blame down. Come on, Gunnar, it's not his fault we can't finish, bro. And I go back to Bournemouth. It's not Arteta's fault. Our Martinelli can't put it in the back of the onion bag. That's all I'm trying to say. Buy more players. Exactly. That's what I'm leading to, ER. Is that, there's times where the manager, yes, takes blame. But there's times you have to lay it on the players. You just have to, right? Arteta, he puts us, I think at times he puts us in good positions to win. I really do. But then I think he thinks too much, right? He thinks too much.
Yeah.
And he gets this thought in his head that if I do this, this will be the result. If I do this, this will be the result. Instead of letting the players just play, right? And yes, ER, I do blame him for the transfer window because him and Edu put us in the situation we are now with the squad, right? But this squad has shown that we can fight, we can get points, and we can win games in the 89th minute. And that mentality is gone. The Declan Rice, 89th minute against United, phenomenal. I was jumping off my couch last season, screaming in the air, great win. And here we are now. Declan Rice is a fucking ghost. I'm sorry. He is not the same player who we got back from the Euros.
Yeah.
I
thought he was
invisible.
Playing in the 6, I thought he was good today, but I think he needs to continue to play in the 6. He's not going to be that offensive guy. Right. I don't think he ever has been.
Well, he was left mid last season, and we were seeing him to score goals. And now he moves into the 6, and Trossard to the left. Martinelli's essentially out of form. I mean, I do blame. I put 65% of this on the manager, but
you have to put it on the manager because that's where he's putting him. That's where he's putting him, and then you put Mikel Moreno on there, who's allergic to passing the ball forward. Big up Mikel Moreno.
I don't even know if I put that much on the manager. Maybe 50%. 50% Arteta, 50% players. Let's be real, guys. The players let us down in some cases. The runs were bad. The communication was bad. The overall defending mentality of our lead was bad. Right? We pushed too far up. We left a hole, and we paid the price. It's simple as that.
I mean, at the end of the day, you see where our holes are. And look, I'm not blaming it on injuries because, look, at the end of the day, it's on the manager to manage through the injuries. Like, it's not I blame Arteta for some things, but the players need to take some responsibility as well. That was 100% correct. Arteta is not out there kicking a ball anymore. Okay, he retired. Like, so if you're, if you're going to be blaming everything on him, then you need to be blaming him for Jesus skying it over the net or not getting a ball in correctly, or,
But,
Kai Havertz not being in any sort of position to score. Like, look, I want to move on a little bit because I want to talk about Anthony Taylor.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, there's plenty of blame to go around. And I know Arteta was never a baller, okay? I understand that he was a mid. I didn't say that. I said that he kicked ball. He was not a baller.
No.
He literally kicked a ball. But that being said, there's plenty of blame to go around for this one. Like, we're all upset. We all wanted to win against Liverpool at home. We needed the 3 points.
And my opinion today.
In my look, in my opinion, the league is done. Like, we're not consistent enough, in my opinion, to win the league. We're not. I'm just gonna watch the club and continue to comment on the club, but I'm not going into every week being like, this is another step to Arsenal glory.
Right.
Like, no, like, we're not good enough.
Glory.
We're not good enough. Like, we're
just not flat out good enough.
Yeah, right. Right. And Rice does nothing special. I disagree. I completely disagree. Rice is a very, very good 6. A lot of people are asking Rice to do things that he was never meant to do. Like, when he was playing on left center mid, Dal, I agree with you. He did have some flashes of brilliance on the offensive side of the ball. Other than that, the guy he's allergic to passing vertically, but he's good on the ball in the defensive side of the pitch. That's it. Yeah. That's all I expect out of him. God damn.
Connor. He says, "God damn," and Connor appears.
Yeah, and Doss will be joining us too here in a minute. Connor, your thoughts on the game, my friend? Welcome back, by the way.
Thanks everyone, first and foremost.
By the way, where'd you get that shirt? Is that a training?
Yeah, that's a nice shirt.
My uncle got this for me. He was a season ticket holder. He was at the game tonight. He got this for me a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago's training kit. So yeah, big up to everyone locked in. Big up to TJ and Dow, of course. I'm a bit torn, fellas. I can't lie. I'm a bit torn because as much as I wanted 3 points, I'm actually quite happy because I thought we'd lose. I thought we'd just lose this game.
I thought we'd lose too.
So I'm quite happy we walked out with a point because that does still keep us in the race, in my opinion. I think we're now 3 points off Liverpool. Obviously, I'd rather the win, but there's that. However, I don't know. I think, we had players out there who start regularly for us and they let me down. I'd let off the players who are rotated and who aren't played as usual. I've got to give my respects to people like Kivior, who did listen. I know obviously we played a high line and we gave away the second goal, but it could have been a lot worse. I mean, the fact that we had a back line of Partey, White, Lewis Skelly, and Kivior managed to hold on for a point, I've got to somewhat respect it. However, Havertz really let me down today. I thought he was shocking. I thought he was absolutely awful today. I think Trossard didn't help whatsoever. I don't know what he was doing in the 10. He didn't offer anything to the team today. Saka was good. I think the goal that I've got, the first goal was fantastic. That pass from Ben White was so good. Oh my God, what a pass. That was sublime. That was absolutely fantastic. And Saka left Robertson absolutely on his arse. So that was even better. That's now become a meme. So that's even better. Because Robertson is lauded by Liverpool fans, so that was quite funny. Saka I thought was really good today. He was on his game. I think he was probably our best player. Declan Rice, he's looked a bit invisible recently. I haven't really seen him being that involved. I did see what you guys were talking about before I joined about how he's now in the 6. He's not really seeming as much more involved. And I don't really like that because he was more involved in the 8. Mikel Merino, before the goal, I thought he was absolutely shite. I thought he was awful. I think before the goal, he was just offering nothing to the team. He was losing possession really easily. But he redeemed me back a little bit after that goal. It was a very good header, very good goal. He should have scored before, though. He should have scored before or after. There was another moment where he had the exact same thing and he didn't score. So there was that. So, yeah, running through the team, I think, Raya, he was all right. I don't think there was some moments where he maybe could have done better. I think Partey wasn't that bad. I think there were moments where... Yeah, I think Diaz skinned him once or twice, but defensively, he was all right. He wasn't that bad. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, Luis Diaz is going to skin him." Not really. He didn't really put up that much, bar one or two opportunities, like more like the time when Luis Diaz got locked off by Ben White and he had to like sit in the corner. There was that. But not much. No, I think Ben White was great. I thought I shat myself with him at centre back today. I thought he would have been awful, but he wasn't that bad. And the pass was fantastic. He can still pick off those passes at centre back. So that was really good. I thought Gabriel done his job until he came off. Now, the one thing I would say actually about part A was the Van Dijk goal. He should have been on him more. He was too weak on him. With Van Dijk, you've got to be on him. You can't let him slip. I think we should have had Gabriel on. I don't know why Gabriel wasn't marking Van Dijk.
That's what I mentioned earlier.
Why Partey was on him, I didn't know that. You've got to be marking.
Gabriel has to call him out. Gabriel, you're right. Gabriel has to say, Van Dijk is mine.
Yeah, you've got to be marking him. There's one player you have to mark. Gabriel is probably our strongest player on the pitch today. The one player that you have to mark is Van Dijk, and he wasn't marked this. That was the reasoning for that.
True.
I think who was left? Timber, I thought done a great job. I didn't think he was that bad either. I think against Salah, he wasn't that bad. I think he actually done all right. Marino let me down a bit today, bar the goal. I think he had moments. He was all right, but the first half I thought he was shocking. Bar the goal. Awful. Yeah, he was not good. Declan Rice again, I felt like he was a bit missing, but maybe because he was playing in the 6 and not the 8. Saka, I think, was easily our best player today, in my opinion. Trossard went missing. Havertz went missing. And Martinelli tried his best. Again, he put in all right, but he couldn't really create anything. But he tried his best. And he did go one-on-one with Trent. He did show some confidence. But I think the main thing out of today was, listen, we didn't have Saliba. We didn't have Gabriel for a good half an hour. Right. We're missing Odegaard. I'm not blaming it down to injuries. However, a Liverpool team that's practically fully fit, they're missing Alisson and they're missing Jota. They're the two really key ones. But Keller has been part of the reason they've got the best defense in the league, so I'm not putting it down to that. That he's still an all right keeper.
Hey, Connor, let me ask you a question. Do you think if Odegaard would have been somewhat match fit and come on in the 65th minute, we would have changed fortunes?
I think he would have made more of a difference than Trossard today. I don't know if he would have made a difference for us to win the game, but Trossard was non-existent today. He offered us nothing. And it comes back to that point where, yes, he may start a game where he could get a goal or assist. But I think we've got to just come to the conclusion now that Trossard is a super sub.
He's a super sub. He's a left-wing super sub for Martinelli.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to say, but I think it's just the player he is. And let's not forget, he is turning, I think he's 30 now, isn't he? So he's coming on to the end of that run where he's probably going to lose a bit of his pace, technique. But do you know what? I'm not going to be overall negative today. I think we were actually quite confident today. I think on the ball going forward, we didn't sit back as much. We actually made Liverpool sit back. Heard from all these Liverpool fans that Arsenal just sit back, low block. Liverpool low blocked for a lot of this game today. We were on the front foot
especially in the first half and the second half.
And okay, so I know I'm talking a bit too much here. Sorry, fellas, but
go.
I've talked about the players. Arteta should have made subs earlier. Attacking subs had to be made earlier. Could have made a difference. Why Martinelli was shattered by the 60th minute. He looked knackered. Havertz should have come off for at least Jesus. Listen, I don't like Jesus, but Havertz offered nothing that whole game. Right. Bar the moment where the goal should have gone in, but it didn't count because of Kivior and Szoboszlai. Even though Szoboszlai didn't even go on the ground, he wasn't even fouled. But hey, Konate should have been that moment. That should have been a penalty for Arsenal. I don't care what anyone tells me. That moment, Konate on Martinelli. No one can show me footage of where Konate gets that ball. That was a penalty for Arsenal. But hey, we can't talk about referees because that's the excuse of Arsenal fans. We got
to talk about it.
Even though we're going to talk about this moment because Liverpool fans, I'm interested to see what Dar says when he comes on here. That was a clear pen. And Konate knew that should have been a penalty. And the moment with Kivior and Szoboszlai, where Kivior won the header, but Anthony Taylor gave it as a foul. And then obviously Havertz went over to Kelleher. Then Jesus had to tap it in. Good real. I'm just using it as listen.
One second. We're not. I don't think anybody's blaming the refs, but
I'm not blaming the refs. I'm blaming moments in the game.
Individual passes of play because there are two complaints that I have.
There was a shout for a penalty.
I'm sorry, it was
the game.
You can't, I'm sorry, bro. You can't not tell me that you're not. You can't tell me here and say that wasn't a penalty. I'm sorry, you can't. And I'm not just going to blame Anthony Taylor for the game because Anthony Taylor didn't cost us the game. There are moments of offensive judgment that cost us the game. But at the end of the day, I honestly wasn't expecting to go into this game walking out with 3 points unless we had a miracle. I really didn't. You know, so I'll take the point. We're 3 points behind City. You know, title race is. Listen, I don't think we're going to win the title this year. I don't think we're good enough to win the title this year. I think City are just too good, too on form. Pep's cooking as he usually is. However, I don't think the race is over. But Arsenal today, individuals were good, some were bad. Do you know what? I'll end my points with. I think today was a fair result. I think it was a fair result. I think it ended a fair result. The only thing I should have said I would go against it was we should have been given a penalty.
I agree. I love these guys that just come into the chat and assume that we are saying.
Isn't that the guy from Matrix?
Yeah.
The red pill or the blue pill.
I'm telling you, this is why I love YouTube because people come in here saying that we have
Morpheus
actually denied that Saka isn't our best player. Saka is by far our best player. I don't think anybody.
He done
just said he was the best player.
I literally just said he was the best player.
Yeah, it literally he's our best player. He was the best player today. You know, so but I think, do you know what? I've got to respect it, right? We actually defended really well without Saliba today. Listen, I know we conceded 2. That free kick, yes, we should have defended it better. And that second goal, I mean, look at the defense we had on the pitch, man. Just deep the defense we had on the pitch, right? But we got too cocky and we played a high line, right? However, I think that could have been way worse. Way worse, right? That really could have been. I will take the point. Yeah, listen. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm happy that Arsenal are not winning games because I know I don't want to, be like ultra positive. But I'm looking at it in a sense of it's a point with a team that we've got that's riddled with injuries against a Liverpool team that isn't really, they're at their best right now. Best defense in the league. We put 2 past them. I'll take the point. However, hopefully the injuries get better. We have to go winning against Newcastle, Chelsea, obviously beat Preston. We've got to go ahead and win these games now. We have to. So, and Gunnar, you can sit there and say 1 out of 6 points. But listen, big up to you, man. Because I like Gunnar. Big up to you, bro. But come on now. You can't just go out of 2 games and say 1 out of 6. Let's sit in. Let's do this right. You got to go over a certain amount of games. We're 3 points behind Liverpool, 4 behind City. It's not that deep. It really isn't that deep. It could be a lot worse.
And you have to consider, too, I mean, I don't know how many people actually watched the Southampton-Man City game. They didn't look good.
No.
Like, Man City did not look good.
And Liverpool 1 injury away from cocking up everything. Don't forget that.
It's a long season. I'm going to say that. But Dow, I watched Southampton. The only reason Southampton won that game is because they got a bunch of refereeing decisions go against them. And Aaron Ramsdale sucks. Aaron Ramsdale is awful. This guy
He's so bad. This
guy looks like me at junior prom. 0 composure. 0. This guy stinks. I'm so glad we got rid of him. Good Lord.
He's bad.
Oh, God, sorry.
Comment there. It's like, like DJ Crane says, not complain about the refs. I think we're not complaining about the refs. We're complaining about
we're allowed to criticize the refs. We're not blaming them.
Right. I didn't think Anthony Taylor had a horrible game. But it is kind of sus at the end there with that whole Kai Havertz-Konate debacle and the Martinelli, the way the ball bounced and went off. I mean, it's kind of like if you're calling a foul, like Connor said, on a player that didn't even fall over.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm not saying the ref was bad the whole game, but there's moments where it's like, really?
And there were moments, guys, I don't know if you saw, there were moments where the ball, Liverpool kicked it out of play. Right. We've done that. And got red card.
I know. It's the double standard again. I think that, like Connor, I agree with Connor. Konate was very nervous. He even thought that was a penalty on Martinelli.
No, we ain't going there now.
We ain't going there now.
We ain't going there now. We ain't talking about the decisions. Y'all didn't want to hear it last year when Odegaard.
Here we go.
I want to hear it this year.
You're
okay?
right.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about subjective decisions. All right, because they're subjective.
You're
That's
gonna
the-
hear because
Here we
it's
go.
a
He's going to bring up the
decision,
Odegaard
Josh.
thing. He's going to bring up
Because
the
of
Odegaard
penalty
thing.
on Martinelli. Go back and watch it.
It wasn't a penalty. His knee touches the ball. It's only a penalty. It's only a
I said it
penalty.
could've- it very
Hold on,
easily could have been.
Hold on. The only reason why I will hear the excuse is because there was a similar one given earlier today, but that was by a different refereeing team, and we all know there's no such thing as consistency with the PGMOL. And ultimately, you should be looking at this game and saying we shouldn't have. There's no reason to rely on a penalty here. You dominated.
Right.
You dominated. Objectively, you were the better team.
We didn't
You had
dominate
more
in the second half.
We didn't dominate in the second half.
No, 100%. But you should have scored more in the first. It's that
Right.
simple.
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, the first 15 minutes of that second half, you did until we made the switch and brought in.
That's true. I'll
And
give you
brought
that.
in. Once we brought in Soboslai, all of a sudden, you had someone in your face the whole time. You guys pressed
Right.
well in the first half. You didn't press well in the second half. All of a sudden, you got the 2-1 lead. And listen, the only refereeing thing I'm going to hear out of this game, semi-automated offside. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it was offside.
It
but
wasn't
Carol-
offside.
I'm
It was-
not saying that, TJ. I'm not saying that.
TJ, can you share my
I'm
screen,
saying-
please?
Yeah.
I'm saying that parallax error is a real thing.
Right.
Ready?
Show me
Watch.
where his knee connects with the ball.
Watch.
That's
Watch.
a penalty.
Keep
His-
going.
you're telling me
He
his
hasn't-
knee connects to the
touch-
ball.
Where did he touch the ball? Yeah. That's a
Bro.
pen. That's
Bro.
a pen.
And
Right
then
there.
takes him out.
Right there.
No, there
What are you
was no.
talking about?
I
He
can
doesn't
see
even
it.
get the ball.
There was no. Hold on. I can see
You're
it
at the
because
wrong
there was
angle.
there was no change in direction of the ball spinning.
There
There
is.
was no
Ready?
difference. I
Yeah,
can see what they're talking about.
oh my God. Stop just for 1 second. Go back. Go back. Keep going back. Okay. Keep going back. Keep going back.
I
I'm
read
gonna
it
tell you,
again.
okay,
Let's
watch.
play this.
I'm gonna get copyrighted.
The ball just changed directions. The ball was spinning to the left and then it was spinning to the right. Watch it. Slow it down. Spinning to the left, now spinning to the
Because
right.
Trent touched it.
Just
Trent touched it.
Trent touched
Penalty
it.
split.
Okay. Regardless.
Regardless.
My,
Regardless.
my,
Regardless, it's a pen.
my ultimate point is you cannot sit here. It's 2024. I will not hear anyone complaining about a ref, and I will not complain about the ref. I haven't complained about the
Oh,
refs.
neither.
I'm not complaining about the refs.
We're
You-
talking about a couple instances where the refs got it wrong. The rest of the
Yes.
game was fine.
There were 2 or 3.
That's
There
what
were
I'm
2
saying. That
I
was a
got
penalty, and it's even that looks to me in my eyes because his knee didn't touch it. So that just negated your first comment. His knee never
Well,
touches the ball. Right?
If
No,
you look
no.
at a different angle, it does.
It looked like it, okay, but it didn't. So it's a penalty because he
From that
slides
angle.
into it from behind. He slides into it from behind. He puts it over. His heel hits the ball, which sets off the opposite rotation. It's a pen. The ref missed it. Ref
Okay.
misses a lot of shit. I'm not gonna, but I can't. But I'm with you on this one, Das. I'm not going to blame the ref because we could not score. Right? Just
I'm
like
not blaming the
everybody
ref
else said.
at
It's
all.
not the ref's fault that we didn't score. Right? I
Yeah.
get that. But it is the ref's fault in the heat of the game in the 87th minute to
Here.
not be paying attention for us getting slide tackled in the back and not you guys not getting possession of the ball. It's a pen.
Oh, just I don't want you guys to bring it up on the
Right.
screen. There's other things to talk about, but that Twitter link is a different angle, and it shows something
Okay.
completely
Okay.
different. It shows something completely
enough.
different from the angle that you just showed.
So
Ultimately,
does
though,
it hit his knee
but,
though.
but hold on. Remember, in order for VAR to come in, it has to be a clear and obvious error. And based on how
Right.
the referees
True.
have approached it this season, that's too subjective. It's the same thing with the Sancho penalty. It's the same thing with Darwin in the Champions League against Leipzig. When things are so iffy now, they're not going to do anything about it. And I think that consistently, that's what we're going to see throughout the whole season. When it's
Oh,
something
yeah.
that's, when it's something that's so subjective. And honestly, I think we'll all have a different opinion at the end of the season when we continue to see these things.
Sure.
And it's like, if it's not completely clear, they're not going to call it. And I don't think that that's completely clear. I think that if they were to come in, that would be re-refereeing it, right? Which is ultimately what we don't want VAR to be. We want it to be there where if Konate just mollywopped his back foot, then it's a pen because it's like he literally just destroyed him. But I think
Yeah.
that's just, I
And I
think it's
didn't see the handball. People are
Well,
saying
I
there's a handball in there. I didn't see that at all.
So the handball comes after that when Martinelli gets back up and kicks the
Oh,
ball to Havertz.
Right. Okay. I thought it was
with his
before.
hand. But that wouldn't have mattered if it was a penalty. So the handball is a little bit it's stupid to bring up because if it's a
So,
pen, it
well,
can't.
Wagnall says it's a handball first. So it was a handball before the contact.
Second.
I didn't think
It's
that.
second. The
Second,
handball comes after. So if Kai
Default,
Havertz would have scored, it would have been a handball. But he didn't score it because he's shit.
Right.
Regardless,
True.
Liverpool tactically in this game, we were so horrendous. Like if I'm an Arsenal fan, this needs to feel more like a loss than it does a draw. And for a Liverpool fan, this feels more like a win than it does a draw. Because in that first half, I mean, listen, you guys pressed well, but we had options in front of us. We could have played ball to feet to the midfielder, but we continuously went to long balls to fullbacks who outsized our wingers, and we lost the ball over and over and over and over. Arne Slot approached that first half horrendously. And with the amount of possession that you guys had, you weren't able to capitalize on that, which was lucky for us, right? And we scored the corner off of you. We get in 1-1. We come out in the second half, and we make no changes. We still go long ball. We still look absolutely shit. And then once Szoboszlai comes on, the whole game sort of changes. And then obviously Darwin Núñez, like the absolute stud he was today, creates a goal scoring opportunity for Mohamed Salah on the one pass that I think Trent Alexander-Arnold completed today. I think he must have made.
Yeah, he was shit apart from that.
And it was the only pass that he completed. He gave away the ball so many, but defensively he was excellent because every time Martinelli came at him, he dealt with it, and he also had help. And to be fair to Robertson, first off, he's my third choice left back. It's It's Tsimikas, Joe Gomez, and then fucking Andy.
How
Robertson.
the times have changed.
But
crazy,
I also said that on Friday. But Van Dijk needs to do better. Like everyone on the fucking planet knows that Saka's about to cut back on his left foot. First off, Robertson make him shoot it. Make him shoot it on his weak. Don't bite. He bit. If you don't bite, Saka has to shoot that on his weak foot. And if he scores on me on his weak foot, I'm going to hold that and say, Bukayo Saka, please join my
back. Right.
But he bites. But honestly, Virgil needs to be there, knowing that Saka's going to do that. And if Robertson gets burned, he has to be there. Because if Virgil's closer, he gets pressure on the ball. It was an excellent finish. I don't think anyone on the fucking planet is saving that. But regardless, I feel like this is a win for me. And honestly, I felt like if we didn't put Endo on, we could have still gone at you. From the 80th minute on, we could have kept attacking. We could have gotten something more out of that game. And like we could have scored another, but we bring on Endo. We decide to set up shop. And then with the whole thing at the end, like listen, it's soft with the jump on Szoboszlai. I mean, I could see how you would call that a foul, but blow it right there. Like don't wait the extra half a second. Blow it right there.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Right. The passage of play was over.
Just blow the whistle.
Was way late. And
just blow the whistle. But also
blow the whistle.
Exactly. But also, I feel like, I don't know if the players were looking at him. I have no idea. But it seemed like the whole back line shut off. So I don't know if like half blew a whistle or if like he like hesitated a little bit. But to me, it looked like everyone sort of like switched off. Obviously, the goal ends up going in, but it doesn't count. But at the same time, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm not looking at this game and saying that like I got robbed because of that one instance. You had control of this football game. You could have put us to dust. You had opportunities and possession, and we consistently turned the ball over to you over and over again. But you didn't do anything with it, right? You scored one Bukayo Saka open play goal. But outside of Saka,
everyone else, Trossard and Havertz were abysmal today. They were shocking.
Exactly.
They weren't. You should have.
This is
exactly why. And this is exactly why. And listen, I'm not one right to. People will come at me, like top gunners will come at me and they'll say, "Oh, but you're just saying this because it's Liverpool, right?" Listen, nothing against Havertz, right? But today is the exact reason
everything against
why we
Havertz
won't win the Premier League. Yeah, today is the exact reason why we won't win the Premier League. Right?
Let loose on him.
If you've got that talisman in your team, Arsenal could have won the game today. Yeah. If we had that Gyökeres or if we had like an Ollie Watkins or whoever we would get, Alexander Isak, you never know, we could have won the game today. Havertz can be good for moments. There'll be moments where he could get a goal, bang, we could get 3 points, walk out. Fantastic. Thank you, Havertz. But people have got to wake up and see that he will not be the one to win us a league title. He won't. You need that number 9.
You know who was really good today as a number 9? Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez was ridiculously good because defensively he tracked back consistently. He made dangerous runs. He was given no service. Like the fact that we don't even play for him anymore is ridiculous. Like he makes these runs, we don't do anything, but yet somehow he still continues to make the runs and he gets the assist, which is a beautiful assist because he's pretty much falling off balance before he makes that pass to Mohamed Salah. And if Gabriel's there, maybe it's a different story, but injuries happen. He had to be taken off, and it is what it is. It is.
That
what
to
it
me
is.
was the catalyst of our downfall today was the Gabriel. You're out there on the pitch. I've played. I know Doss, if you've played before. I know Connor and TJ have played a bit, I think. But your tail. Obviously Gabriel's now our talisman, right? It's not Havertz. It's not Trossard. The one who's going to make a difference for us is Gabriel. And I don't mean the scoring goals, just keeping us together and the mentality together, right? And once he was gone, I pretty much knew you guys were going to score from there. I knew you were going to score. I just didn't know when. They
smell blood. They smell blood.
Listen, I think I forget the kid's name, Lewis, whatever. He was good, but he's the one who vacated the space in order for Trent to play that ball.
He did.
Right? Like, he was good, but also I expect that kind of mistake from that player in that situation.
Yep.
Like you're being run into a massive moment unfairly, and this is the kind of that's the kind of mistake that can happen. That's the kind of mistake that
I agree with
unfairly.
Not a good day for
Right. Expand on the unfairly part, TJ, because that's what we talked about a little bit before Mike jumped on, was that it is unfair. A very important game for both teams, equally, but you would say a little more for Arsenal, obviously, because we're not on top. And you put Lewis Skelly on instead of just going to a 3-4-3. That's where I get the
I'm surprised you didn't bring on Raheem Sterling. What was he bought for? What was Sterling
with the same formation?
You didn't do
Sterling wouldn't have done anything. Sterling wouldn't have done anything in this game.
I don't understand what Arsenal's attack was today. Like Martinelli, every time he tried to drive down there, every time he drove, Trent was there to defend and he had help. Right? The only success that you had was with Saka. Right. And for some reason, you guys decided to stop attacking down the right side. And Curtis Jones wasn't even on the left side of the pitch. If Curtis Jones is on the left side of the pitch, all of a sudden it's different and I'm more comfortable. But I don't understand why on earth you ever would have attacked down the left. Down our right side. Because the whole season teams have tried to do that and they've tried to go after Trent thinking that this is last year. Well, Trent's better at defense now, and you got Konate there. So you ain't doing shit, especially with a shit player like Gabriel Martinelli. And all of a sudden, you take your one X factor and you don't drive through him. I think Odegaard was a massive miss in this game. I don't think that Saliba was like Saliba at the end of the day. I don't think that Saliba changes either of those goals.
I think he helps.
I think we just played better with
maybe, but at the same time, I think that you're discrediting the delivery because no matter what, Trent Alexander-Arnold hit a short cross and Luis Diaz got there first. Like if another player maybe prevents him from heading it over the top of his head by pushing him off balance, maybe
go back and watch. Sorry to interrupt you. Go back and watch that again because Kai Havertz literally did not mark him close enough.
Maybe, but it was excellent delivery. At least in my opinion.
No, it was great for the way we set up because we went to sleep. We did not set up well for that at all.
But Liverpool, I think that a lot of our errors came from how we tactically set up, and you can see it because we decided to ignore short passes and go for the long ball. If we had tried to build up from the back and we were a little bit more compact, I think we could have done a lot better against you guys. And I think in the game, the return game, when we play you guys at home, I think that that's what we have to do. But ultimately, after this game, everything's unchanged. You're still 4 points back. You're now further behind. You're now 2 points further behind City. We took a point from you at home, which is something we haven't done in 2 seasons, which is huge for this club. And we were piss poor. We were abysmal today. And yet somehow we scored 2. We did concede 2, but one of them was off of a set piece. And the other one is Bukayo Saka. It's like, it is what it is. But if I'm an Arsenal fan, I would be beyond pissed off. Beyond.
Das, why? Look at the injuries we've got as well. You've got to put that into hand here.
What do you mean?
No Arsenal fan was. I'll be surprised if an Arsenal fan.
You're missing one first-team player from an injury. You're missing one first-team player from injury. Martin Odegaard. Saliba was a suspension. Calafiori is not a starter right now.
Yes, he is. He
Calafiori
started the last
is a
how many games for Arsenal?
If,
Starters are left
Timber,
back.
if Timber's healthy, you're starting Calafiori over Timber.
Yes, we've played Timber and Calafiori together. We've dropped Ben White.
Okay. Well then we're both equal. You're missing 2 starters. We're missing 2 starters.
I don't know. But then you look at the teams. Compare the 2 teams today that walked out onto that pitch, and you expected that Arsenal could grab 3 points from this.
100%. Based on the way that you played and how poorly we were, 100% you should have walked away with all 3 points. Not even a question.
Yeah.
We were shit.
Yeah, TJ, I gotta run, buddy. I gotta take the wife some lunch.
You know what? I think we're gonna probably just wrap up there. To be honest with you,
We can debate this game, so we're all blue in the face. The fact is,
we will be debating.
I agree with Doss. I feel like it's a loss. We lost 2 points today.
no,
from
we
a winning
did.
position.
I think
And
we all.
we have no one to blame but Arteta, and I think, to be honest, the whole midfield, because we left a hole in the back, and that's what happened.
Yep, I think we all feel the same way about it. I mean, Arsenal. My final thoughts on this is like, look, Arsenal were supposed to win this game. Like the bookmaker said we were supposed to be winning this game regardless of injuries,
Right.
regardless, because we were at the Emirates. Anytime we drop points at the Emirates, it's going to go against any sort of title charge that anybody thought we had. So, compare the injuries, compare how Arteta managed the game in the second half. I mean, we didn't deserve all 3 points today. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. So yeah, Dal, shout yourself out, man, and we're going to start getting out of here.
Yeah. So I guess my quick final thought is that we need to get, even though we're missing players, that shouldn't stop the actual organization, right? We need to be organized out there and determined to get 3 points every game. And it looks like we just took our foot off the gas pedal again. But with that said, we didn't get the loss. I guess we just move on to who we got next. Preston,
then
Preston North End. Yep.
Preston and then Chelsea, right? Or Newcastle.
No, Newcastle.
So we got to go to Newcastle, and hopefully we get some there. But let's just hope Gabriel's not injured long term, or Timber. But if not, I think we'll be some. I think we'll get some at Preston. Not so sure about Newcastle. But thanks for having me on again, TJ. Great show. Good to see you, Connor, again. Mr. Doss, pleasure as always. You guys are all 100% right in your comments. I think we're all kind of the same conclusion. We just dropped points. It's a win for Liverpool, drop for Arsenal.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got to really get going. I got to get in the car. So great guys. Great
job. We'll see you later,
for having me on the chat. And big up everybody. Talk to you guys soon.
See you later, mate.
Take care, man.
Doss, where can we find? Where are you going to be next? What panel are you going to be invading next?
I'm everywhere, baby. I'm everywhere, and I don't let anybody know my location at any given time. So you're gonna find me when you find me, and it is what it is. But,
will we see you on Monday though?
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Okay,
listen,
there we go.
It was a loss for Arsenal. It was a win for Liverpool. I don't ever want to see a pass played more than 40 yards while we have possession ever again, unless it's a counterattack. Bin the long ball for the rest of the history of humankind. It doesn't work. It's terrible. Neither of our wingers are capable of playing that kind of game. Ball to feet, as you would say on clubs. Ball to feet.
Ball to feet.
And yeah, I mean, shit fucking game. Got a point, and nothing, and everything's unchanged. And City are winning the league anyway, so it is what it is.
That's a whole nother conversation that I'm going to save. Fuck City, but that's a whole nother conversation I'm going to save for American Waffle. Connor, anything you want to shout out before we wrap up, my guy?
You can just follow me on all social medias on cmo.editing. I'm a graphic designer. I've left the YouTube scene because I think there's too much drama. So yeah, you can find me on there. Any social medias, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I haven't got the YouTube channel still. Twitter. All my ats are all the same. cmo.editing. If you need any graphic work, feel free to hit me up. I do TJ stuff. Staffy, Saeed, Never a Foul, all those good channels. So yeah. Feel free to hit me up if you need any graphic work. Big up TJ, big up Doss.
Big up every single time. Big up every single time. You can catch me next on Staffy TV for American Waffle with this guy, Mike Doss. We're going to be running it, I believe, at 11 p.m. UK or 12.
Did you guys
have the time change?
They did. So
Yeah.
It's 1 hour less. It's one hour less ahead of you.
Yeah. So we'll be doing, so we'll have, so it's Yeah, so it's 11 p.m. UK time then. Yeah, and that's going to be tomorrow. And then you can catch me here and on Sarcasm City TV and trolling in every chat that I can get my hands on. Until then, we're going to go ahead and redirect you over to Big Six Bants. Go over there, say TJ Warren TV Raid. Go over there and say hello to the guys, Monts, and all the guys over there. Until next time, 2-2 at the Emirates. Disappointing, but you know what else is new. We'll see you next time.